My name is Eradias Bolar. I, an Imperial and son of Eradias Bolar and a priestess of Arche, was raised with the teachings of Arche and learned my swordsmanship from my father, a member of the Blades. I make my living as a bounty hunter in Falkreath. A great many moons ago, after a day of successful bounty hunting, I journeyed to treat myself at Dead Man's Drink, where I diligently brought myself from clear vision and clear thought to the height of drunkenness and reverie. The inn was filled with people, but after one too many drinks and a racist comment of one of the local Nords, I found myself entangled in a fist and claw brawl that left 3 patrons slain. The guards arrived soon thereafter, and I turned myself in, ridden with guilt. But then came prison. Days and weeks passed, and the effects of scarce food and drink brought disease found only in the dark and damp prison, crippling me from the inside out. Now, Frida's, third of Sun's Dawn, 4th era, and Runil is dead. My own rage and stupidity killed him. I don't know if I can forgive myself, ever. He visited me almost daily when I was in prison. Of course, he was disappointed and found it hard to add 3 more gravestones to the graveyard, those 3 gravestones because of me. And now, as I'm standing here at the same graveyard, 3 more gravestones are added because of me. The first 3 were local Nords. I didn't even know my own power. I killed them in a fight when I lost control. All the wine, mead, and ale took over. It wasn't me who was fighting those Nords. It was pure rage. Pure and hidden rage. When the rage was over, all I could see were 3 bodies on the ground, unrecognizable, beaten to a pulp. I was shocked, and I looked at my hands covered in blood. I fell to my knees. Killing is, weirdly enough, my job as a bounty hunter, but this felt different. It was not their time. Arche didn't call them. Or did he? Did he also call Runil? And Solaf? And Endara? But why? They did nothing wrong. The day of my release from prison wasn't as sunny or as happy as I expected. Just as a guard opened my cell, another stormed inside. "Vampires!" That was all he said before falling to the ground. I and Olaf, my prison guard, looked at each other. I could see the fear in his eyes. "I can and will fight," is what I told him before taking his sword from his sheath and running outside. There was only blood to be found, and chaos. People running for their lives, and from those beasts. I didn't hesitate before starting to fight. I slashed, and I cut my way through those foul creatures and didn't stop before they were all gone. The rage had returned, but this time I had it under control. After the battle, I took my rest. There were bodies all over. Most of them were vampires, luckily. But just when I was about to report to Runil, I saw it. A guard carrying the body of an old high elf on his shoulder. He looked at me and saw my amulet of Arche and shook his head. "I'm sorry, he didn't make it." I buried the bodies of all the villagers that died that fateful day. I wanted no help from Kust. This was my fault, and I had to clean it up. I thought, if I wasn't in prison, if I didn't drink too much, I could have saved them all. Runil did so much for me. He led me to my father's resting place and his sword. He told me much about Arche. He was a friend and a teacher. I am ashamed of what I've become, and I need to do something about it. These vampires must be stopped. For the people of Skyrim, for Arche, and for Runhill. I heard some guards talk about the Dawn Guard, vampire hunters in the old fort near Riften. I think my next destination is set. Here in Falkreath, I have buried my friend, but I have also buried my past, buried my failures, and buried my name. I am no longer Eradias Bolar, son of Eradias Bolar. I am Venator, hunter in the old Cyrodiilic tongue. Venator. I am the embodiment of my own rage. With my father's blade, I vow to kill those beasts. All vampires will die by my hand, and nobody will stop me.